to Nigeria now, where the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project has filed a lawsuit against President Muhammadu Buhari over his failure to publish the names of those indicted in the alleged misappropriation of over 6 trillion naira in the running of the Niger Delta Development Commission between 2000 and 2019, as documented in the recent forensic audit report on the NDDC.
The suit, which was filed in the Federal High Court Abuja, states that Serap seeks an order of mandamus to direct and compel President Buhari to publish the names of those indicted in the alleged misappropriation of the funds.
Well, joining us now this morning is Oluwadare Kolawole, Deputy Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Serap themselves. Good morning, Kolawole. Good to have you on Breakfast Central. Now, let's start by asking, what is this order of mandamus and what does it really entail?
Thank you very much. I hope I'm very audible now. An order of mandamus, in the legal sense, will mean getting an order of court to mandate a public official to do what his or her statutory duties are. And within the context of this suit, that is to get the president to exercise his statutory powers as the president of Nigeria to ensure that the names of the alleged looters are made published, and that they face justice. And of course, that includes seeking a recovery of those funds. 6 trillion naira is a huge amount of money, and you can't understand what that will do to the 2022 budget deficit, for instance. And that is why we've come to court, because we've written to the president some months ago asking him to take this step, and understanding clearly that the president statutorily appoints the chairman of the NDDC, and he also played a part in appointing the members of this forensic audit. So one would wonder what interest will be protected, or will the interest of corruption is being in of fighting corruption is being preserved by not publishing the contents of this report and following up on the report. It's been quite some weeks now where that report has been presented to the president, and we are yet to hear any official statement from the president to take steps in that regard.
All right. Now, you are the Deputy Director of Serap. Serap has really done a lot in terms of suing the current president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. Now, in recent times, Serap also came out to sue President Muhammadu Buhari of 881 billion naira concerning the 367 ministries, departments, and agencies. But let's look at this lawsuit in particular. What does the Constitution say about publishing the names of those indicted in cases like this?
The case of the 808 over 800 MPAs in the Auditor General's report is different from the base. There's a bit of a difference. The over 800 MPAs that would not remit, explain how those funds were spent, are contained in the Auditor General's report, and that is clearly governed by Section 27 of the 1995 Constitution. And the president appoints the Auditor General of the Federation, whose job statutory is to audit these agencies of government. And having come out with this report, it's just natural and it's common sense to see that those whose names have been mentioned, these names are contained in the audit report, which is a public document, by the way. There's a follow-up by the anti-corruption agencies, also by the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly, to ensure that these allegations, because the allegations are at present by the Auditor General of the Federation against these MDAs are investigated, and those who are found culpable are brought to justice. The only difference from the forensic report of the NDDC is that was not done by the Auditor General of the Federation, but these are forensic auditors appointed also by the president. So in that regard, they share similarity. And the least one would expect that there is some sort of action on this report, and this will be by way of investigation by the law enforcement agencies, particularly the EFCC and the ICTs, to ensure that those who are fingered in this report face justice. And again, most important, that these funds are recovered. Nigeria is going through a huge recession right now. We need every naira we can scrape together. That it's only stands to reason that that's done.
All right. From a Serap perspective, you've made your case, you filed a suit against President Buhari and not the federal government of Nigeria. It's against President Buhari for failure to to publish the names of those involved in misappropriation of this 6 trillion naira in question as dated by the forensic audits for the NDDC. Fine. Now, Kolawole, where do we go from here? Because obviously Nigerians will be surprised that Serap is suing the president again, and perhaps maybe not the federal government. And if that's the line of channel, that Buhari is the right person to sue, what is the outcome expected here by Serap?
The least outcome we would expect is that the judge would agree with us and give that order. This is not the first time we've gone to court getting an order of mandamus, and the court has granted some in the past, mandating the government, the president, to take this step. One, because the law is on our side. Second, because the facts are also on our side. The government is not denying that 6 trillion naira has been found missing and people have been indicted in the report. And at the least, this report should be made public and we should see. And the suit has been assigned to a judge also. That's Honorable Justice Nyako of the Federal High Court, Abuja. And we have a date coming up on the 29th of November. That's barely 6 days from now. And so we are expecting to have our day in court. Of course, judgment will not be given on that day, but we still have to go to the various stages before hearing. And we would have to get the leave of the court since this is court ex parte. And then we proceed to the motion of notice stage, and ultimately we're looking forward to getting judgment. And when this judgment is out, we would expect nothing less than total obedience from the president, because the law says that he should do so.
All right. Now, also, Kolawole, I'm just intrigued by the number of suit cases or filed cases that Serap has done against the President Muhammadu Buhari. Also, Serap had sued the President over 4.8 billion naira budget to monitor private calls and messages on WhatsApp. How has that story unfolded so far?
The suit has been assigned also. I can't recall the name of the judge that's been on the date. The suit is progressing, and I would think we will get to the hearing stage very soon, and we'll have a day in court. But it's very important to stress that these lawsuits are public interest litigation called strategic litigation. After all advocacy overtures are failed, and particularly this is also the good advocacy to compel the president, and including other public officials that we are pending litigation against, to do what is right in the eyes of the law and in the interest of Nigerians. You would agree with me that spending such a huge amount of money, 4 billion naira, to monitor the WhatsApp calls of Nigerians, it does not only breach the right to freedom of expression, but it also portends a waste of funds. And we've seen nowhere where either the president or even the NAC or any agency of government that even explained the rationale for this step, or even display the technical capacity for these. Because to the best of my knowledge, WhatsApp has end-to-end encryption. And so how are we certain that this fund is just not another way of getting the spending or misappropriation of public funds? And then the second aspect is the unlawfulness of that budgetary allocation in itself. And we are hoping that this will not scale through the appropriation, and at the least, even if it's appropriated, it could be diverted to other critical spending, including infrastructure in the health sector, and there's no other security challenges other than listening in and dropping to the conversation of the innocent Nigeria. Particularly, no one had explained how this is going to help the fight against insurgency or even help the security architecture of Nigeria. To me and to Serap, this is just another avenue of waste of public funds and the breach of the rights of Nigeria.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Oluwadare Kolawole, Deputy Director of the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, Serap. And let's see how it goes between Serap and Buhari's legal team in this ongoing one. Thank you once again.